Hi there, Carrie from the Soap Coach here, and today it is the 2nd of January 2024, so it's a really good time to have a look at the year ahead. And I've been doing a bit of research and I've brought to you some predictions that have come from across the board for small businesses in 2024, and then my takeaways which are linked to those for our industry, so soap and skincare businesses. So it would seem that there has been an increase in craft businesses in 2022 to 2023 of around 16%. Now, that will include all sorts of craft businesses, not just soap and skincare, and I haven't got a figure which is relating just to soap and skincare businesses. But it's an interesting figure to be aware of. There are more young people than ever starting businesses, so that's in the 16 to 25 age group, which is brilliant, really good to hear. I think there's a lot more opportunity in that respect. There's more information for them online, and I think it's as good a time as any to give it a go. Also, in 2023, more side hustles have been started and are expected to continue through 2024. So figures seem to vary quite a lot, between around 16 to 65% of people saying that they are looking to start a side hustle. So I do appreciate that is a huge variation, but it's a trend that's on the up, and I think that goes for probably all industries as well. Sustainability remains important, and I think a lot of us in the soap and skincare business, that is part of our brand values. So that is really good news to hear as well. Authentic storytelling is becoming increasingly popular. Now, storytelling is a phrase I'm not keen on. Authentic is a phrase I'm not keen on, but I couldn't think of another word for it. But really, it's all about your story behind your brand, the provenance of your brand. So, for example, if you were making goat soap, it would be about goat's milk soap, not goat soap. It would be about where your milk is coming from. Are they your own goats? How are they living? Where do you live? Are you using other local resources? All of that is your provenance, and it's more and more important than ever to be talking about that. If that doesn't fit into your story, then it's about you, why you started your business, what's going on behind the scenes, how do you juggle. I'll talk about that a bit more in a moment. Support for small businesses is still growing. So I keep looking down, that's why I'm looking at my list. Support for small businesses is still growing, and the human connection is still there, which is brilliant news. I know many of us rely on Amazon, etc., but we all still want to support our small businesses as well, and we really like the service that we get from them. Finally, 2024, inflation is falling, but it's still high. The standard of living is still lower than in previous years, and it's unlikely to change anytime soon. 2023 has seen some pay rises across the board, but not enough to bring us back up to the standard that we were at. Prices are still unstable, and a large proportion of the population are trying to get on the housing market. House prices are high, mortgage rates are high, and there's also a large proportion, me included, who have a fixed rate mortgage that was taken out a few years ago when rates were very low, and we're having to renew on the new higher rate. So our income is being squeezed still all the time. So I have taken those areas and looked at how they impact us in the soap and skincare world. And if you're thinking of starting a new business, then some of these will also be relevant. So takeaway number one, craft businesses are still viable, but you really need to be thinking outside of the box a little bit more. So be unique, have a niche. If you've been following me for a while, you will know that I am always banging on about niche, but it's important. You need to be thinking longer term. You can't just think, I'm going to make my soap, go to the local fair and sell it. It just doesn't work like that anymore. It has been 2023. Obviously, I speak to a lot of business owners, and 2023 has been a really difficult year for in-person events, both large and small, and that goes for footfall, it goes for people not spending money, and it also goes for event organisers not being entirely truthful, putting you in a place where it wasn't agreed, where footfall is what you've paid for necessarily. There's a lot of factors going on there. So I feel that events selling just at events is not viable for business growth, and that's just my opinion, but that's what I'm seeing in the ladies that I'm working with. This is why my Soap Business Bootcamp, which is relaunching on the 13th, is very much aimed at setting new businesses up for longer term growth, not craft events, but online sales. And the Soap Suite is where existing businesses grow, and we build on that as well through stockists and wholesales. What I'll do is I'll put links to both of those below. I'll put a link to the bootcamp wait list because that's not available to the 13th, but you can have a little sneak peek if you sign up to the wait list. So that's my first takeaway. You need to be unique, have a niche, think longer term, and have your business head on. My second takeaway is you really need to be staying on top of tech. I don't think there's any getting away from it in 2024, especially as new, younger people come through, starting their own businesses. They will be well on top of it, so you need to be too. By tech, I mean things like websites, email lists, social media trends, love it or hate it, we do really have to do it. AI is probably a contentious topic, but if used authentically, again, a word I don't like, but if you use it as an extra member of staff to help you, not as someone to do the work for you, then it can be really, really useful. And I will do more videos on that in the future. New things are coming along all the time, things like loyalty schemes, subscription boxes, gamification, if you haven't heard of that. It's about adding fun aspects into your website, and you don't have to do it all, but you do need to have a handle on what's going on and pick and choose some of the things that suit you, and keep an eye on trends. So that's my second takeaway. Third takeaway, sustainability will become ever more important. Global net zero target is 2050. We probably aren't going to make it if we're honest, but as individuals we can't do much about that. However, we can do our bit, and I think customers will be more and more looking for sustainable businesses. So that can be things like looking at your suppliers that you're sourcing your materials from, choosing more eco options, so like glass or tin rather than plastic, that kind of thing. There's a caveat here. Going back to niche, don't make plastic free your niche. That isn't a niche, that is part of your business values. So that's number 3. Number 4, be more visible. You've probably seen this everywhere if you're looking at starting a business or have a business. Sadly, it's true, the only way people will find out about you is if you shout about you yourself. So that means your website, your social media, emails, be more you as well. So I do understand it's not easy to put yourself on camera. It's not easy for you to necessarily talk about yourself, but you can pick and choose the bits that you do. I'm not suggesting you go and give your life story or anything like that, but we need to know a little bit more about you. There's so many scams around these days. I think everyone is getting a lot more savvy and parting with money if they don't know who they're giving it to, or the website doesn't look very professional, that kind of thing. It's not going to help you. Just going a quick going on a sideline on that. If you are looking to do more video but are lacking confidence, how I did it was I opened up a private Facebook group, so just me in it, and I used to go live, and I would just record myself going live in my Facebook group and just practiced. And it comes really quickly. You'll be amazed how quickly you get a lot more confident on camera. So give it a go. It happens a lot faster than you think it will. Right, costs. Costs are massive. I know materials, particularly things like olive oil, has shot up in the past 12 months. So you will need to keep an eye on those, keep on top of them, keep a very tight rein. But the biggest thing I think we overlook in our costings is time, our time, and it's the one thing that we can't buy is our time. So, and it is money, time is money. So the easiest way to make more of your time is to really streamline your processes. So by that I mean, look at how you can make more things in a shorter space of time. Can you prepare your raw materials in advance, in bulk? You'll find it a lot faster to do that. Can you make, if you make 100 balms normally, can you make 200? Because you've got everything out already and you're going to have to do the washing up anyway. So all of these things will make a huge impact. Don't procrastinate. So this is the biggest, and I know it's really difficult not to do, but don't procrastinate, because that is the biggest time sucker. Put your phone down, don't do social media when you're meant to be working. And finally, use a unit cost spreadsheet. You can make a really simple spreadsheet where you list all your raw materials and the cost per gram, and then you can very easily find out the cost of everything that you're making per unit. And you'll know then what profit you're making on it and your profit margin. Do not underestimate how important that is. My next takeaway is have a strategy and goals. And I think this is the biggest thing which a lot of new business owners in particular don't work on. So what do you want to achieve in 2024 and how can you do it? And the easiest way to do this is to work backwards. So it's not realistic to say, I want to make £50,000 turnover this year, so that's not profit, it's turnover, and give up my day job. You need to know how much of that turnover will be your net profit, so that's after all your expenses and costs have gone out. And is that enough? How much of that can you pay yourself? And remember that if you want to grow your business, you can't keep all of your profit. You need to reinvest a good proportion of it to help you grow. You need to know, so going back to say £50,000 turnover, how much stock do you need to sell to make that £50,000? And would that be wholesale or would it be retail? Because that will impact on the profit margin that you have. So that might be a range of products, say soaps, body butters, balms, etc. Which of those are more profitable for you? And is it even doable for you to make the volume of stock that you need to turn over £50,000 a year in the time that you have available in the day? If it isn't, how can you change that? Because you need to, there will always be a way of doing things. It may well be that you have, so say balms are quite profitable to make because they're quick and easy. It may well be that you have some more products along those lines, or you look at simplifying your soap design so that you can make more in one go. But the bottom line is you need to know if it is even possible to reach the income goals that you're setting for yourself. So bottom line is think like a business owner and not just like a craft soap maker, because in 2024 that is the way forward more than ever. So that's it. That's my takeaways. Some of them are very simple, some of them less so, but I think those are probably the ones which are quite important in the current economic climate. Okay, thanks for listening. Any questions, pop them below, and I'll pop the links to the Soap Suite Bootcamp waitlist and all of that below, and a few other things as well. And I'll be doing more videos like this through 2024 as well.